hook, woo, back fist, woo. Okay. What's going on, guys? Your boy, Coach Anthony, and of course, none other than world-class professional fighter, Fast Eddie Chambers. And today's video, 4 lines of defense, okay? And it's really known in the boxing community as 3 lines of defense, but we're gonna give you 4. And the 4th one's gonna be the bonus one, so you gotta make sure you stick to the end of the video so you can go ahead and get that bonus. So let's go ahead and let's get started. Okay, so the first line of defense, and arguably the best and the safest line of defense, is going to be blocking punches, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and throw a shot at Eddie and block, okay? Big body, okay? There you go. Simple, effective, you block the shots. That is the first line of defense. Now, the drawback with it is you're going to feel impact, okay? That's the only drawback. But as you've been training over the years, you're going to get used to feeling that impact, and you might actually learn to invite it, because when you start getting comfortable with blocking, that'll set up counter punches and different things that we talk about, and how to set traps and counter punch. So if you guys really want to get into deep levels and you want to get to that right now, make sure you go to the website, coachanthonyboxing.com. But the first line of defense is going to be blocking. Okay, the second line of defense is going to be upper body movement, head movement. Okay, we'll say head movement because that's what everybody knows it as, but it's upper body movement. So maybe I throw a jab at Eddie. Whoop. Cross. Whoop. Hook. Whoop. Back fist. Whoop. Okay? No, don't ever try a back fist, okay? Unless you're in kickboxing, okay, or MMA. All right? But upper body movement is what's going to help you evade punches without feeling the impact. So this is a much more advanced way to get away from punches. It's a little bit more dangerous. That's the drawback there, right? Because if you time the slip or the roll the wrong way, you can go ahead and get clipped. A lot of times you feel more naturally comfortable slipping with your hands a little bit lower, so you're a little bit more vulnerable to headshots. So when you are slipping and rolling punches, it's definitely more dangerous, but it's definitely very effective once you learn it and you're able to pull it off, because you're going to open up opportunities for counter punches, and you're going to be able to completely evade punches that could go ahead and put you in a new angle, which is always a good thing, right? So head movement. Okay, and the last line of defense, and arguably the best one, or the safest, I should say, and like I said, is arguably, because the first one and the last one were the 2 that I said were arguably the safest, and that's going to be footwork, right? Getting away from punches. And the reason why I say arguably is because some people are naturally good movers, and other people are a little bit more planted to the ground. And for the guy who's planted to the ground, he's probably going to want to block shots. And guys who move really well, they're probably going to want to just get away from shots. So maybe I go ahead and try to throw something. Look, he just simply gets out of there, okay? And if he really feels unsure, unconfident about exchanging, or he's fighting somebody who maybe hits hard, given constant footwork, never being in front of me, is going to be very difficult, especially for the power puncher, to plant his feet and really be able to get his shots off. A fight that really makes me think about that was very recently when Jerome Boots Ennis just fought the Ukrainian guy. What was his name? Garen. Yeah, whatever. Garen, whatever his name was, the guy did not want to stand in front of Jerome Ennis, because Jerome Ennis has a real reputation of being a big puncher now. So he must have heard about it, and he said, I am not going to stand in front of this guy. And he was able to survive. You know what I mean? So a lot of footwork can definitely help you if you are not looking to get hurt. Now, it can have a drawback, right? One of the things that it's going to do is going to test your conditioning. And if you're not in the best shape to do that kind of movement, you know, you're not necessarily, you might go ahead and pay the price later on if you're boxing a lot of rounds. This is for the professional fighters as well, or even amateurs, man. I know amateurs who get tired in one round because they overuse footwork, okay? And then another drawback is when you're constantly moving like that, you're not necessarily set to punch. When we talked about blocking earlier, when your feet are to the ground, right, if you catch a shot, you're in position to maybe counter off that shot. If you slip a shot, you're in position to counter off that shot, where if you're moving all the time, yes, you might be able to stop and drop a shot, but for the most part, you're just looking to get to a new angle, and then you have to do 2 steps. So it's like, I got to move, I got to stop, I got to punch. You see what I'm saying? And it's just a little bit harder to get counter punches off, and it's much more exhausting to do. So they all have their place, they all have their purpose. I recommend utilize them all. Now let's go ahead and let's get into the bonus tip. And the bonus tip, drum roll, and it's going to be offense. Your offense is your best defense sometimes, okay? And the reason for that is you got to keep your guy honest. If you're constantly just moving and moving and moving and moving and you're not punching, right? You're just moving, right? Or I'm throwing shots and you're going under them, right? You're rolling and you're blocking and you're not doing anything other than just the defense. I'm just going to keep punching. I'm just going to keep coming forward. What I got to worry about, right? But if I go ahead and I make a move, Eddie throws a jab at me, now look what I got to do. I got to respect that. So now I say, okay, he's punching. So now that I know he's punching, I actually slow down my offense a little bit because I say to myself, there's a price to pay. Make him miss, make him pay. Remember that one? Right? There's a price to pay. And guess what? Most fighters don't want to pay that price. That's a bill that we don't want to cash or check or whatever, right? We don't want to pay the price, basically, is what I'm trying to say here. What I'm trying to say is punch. Right? If you're just constantly letting your guy throw punches at you and you want to be a good defensive fighter, you're going to lose. You can't win fights with defense alone. You need both. You need defense and offense. That's why it's 50% offense, 50% defense. And a lot of times, you need a little bit more offense than the other guy. So you're going to need more offense than the defense, but the defense needs to be there. You need to be defensively responsible, okay? But you have to throw your punches, right? Sometimes the best way to stop an aggressive fighter is to be aggressive yourself. Push them back. Let's see how they do when they've got punches coming back at them. If you're constantly moving away from an aggressive guy, he's just coming forward. Come on. You're letting him build that momentum. You definitely want to add this last bonus tip. This is very, very important, all right? You do not want to slip up and let a guy get started and you can't catch up. All right, guys, go to the website, coachanthonyboxing.com. We got the best courses on the internet, hands down. Put them up against anybody. Go ahead, put them up. Eddie, what up? Put them up. Put them up. You already know, coachanthonyboxing.com. Let's go.